Alrighty, so it's time for another live game of Zerg versus Zerg. Now, this may very well be the last live game in the game as we know it right now. Obviously, very soon, early next week, the new patch will go live that will change up, pretty much everything we know about multiplayer. It's very exciting. It's also a little scary because a lot of the strategies that I've been working on for a very long time will basically be out of date very soon. Obviously, though, that does mean that it's going to make room for new strategies and new exciting things that aren't currently viable in the game. And obviously, old strategies won't, all completely disappear. But the specifics as we know it, we're going to have to figure them out once again. Now, we are playing Zerg versus Zerg. And if we're talking about any matchups, they will probably stay pretty similar to how they are right now. Out of all matchups in the game, it's actually Zerg versus Zerg. Zerg versus Zerg is It's a very tough matchup to play to begin with. Obviously, a lot of the games are decided very early on, just because of the Zergling Baneling aggression. But even in the middle stages of the game, there are going to probably not be all too many changes. Just considering the Baneling and the Hydra are getting buffed up, Roaches are probably still going to be superior, and so are Mutalisks. But obviously it's hard to say. We'll see where the game ends up being. Obviously I did just go for a hatchery first in ZVZ, pretty greedy, because, there's a chance that my opponent is going to go for the early game aggression. But I did just see an Overlord, not quite seeing his second one just yet though, which is making this a little bit more scary. But I think we'll be okay. Actually, I think that may have actually very well been his second Overlord. Now, Zerg vs Zerg is probably the one matchup that's not going to be changing all too much compared to the others. Just because, for 90% of the players, it's going to be decided by the early game Ling Baneling harass. And, I mean, with that 90% of the players, I probably include myself as well. Although I do see mid-game transitions a lot more often nowadays. It's still, if you make one slight misstep, right, and you're playing Ling Bane versus Ling Bane, your opponent may just accidentally blow up all of his Lings on your Bane and the other way around. Looks like though in this particular instance my opponent did also go for a quick expansion. I did go for the spawning pool in between the gas geyser and the expo, so my link speed is going to be a little bit more on the later end. So I'm only going to be moving out with one set of Zerglings and use the other one for defensive purposes. I do think I want to be going for the +1 melee upgrade. +1 melee is still one of my favorite upgrades in the game. Really powerful, really strong. And at the same time I do also want to make sure that I grab myself the Bane's Nest while heading off for a third base. The Link skirmish is always so silly. Alrighty, let me go ahead and grab this base. Let me go ahead and grab that Evo chamber. Roughly a 30-ish gas. Anywhere between 30 to 50 gas is usually alright. And let me make sure that I have Overlord scouting this middle side of the map as well. I've been trying to improve my Overlord placement in ZVZ. Obviously the map pool that we currently know is also going to change up significantly. So, basically everything we know in StarCraft is going to change very soon. It's exciting. It's also a little terrifying. Not seeing a third base from my opponent just yet. Looks like he's going for it right now. A little bit later than myself. I guess that's fine. We'll make a couple of links here. And I do want to try and get myself a full saturation in the natural. So I'm going to make a round of links here just because link speed is about to finish up. And I do want to start moving across the map. At least put a little bit of pressure on my opponent. But behind that I'm going to make probably roughly... I would say probably roughly 6 more drones-ish. So this is 3 right here. 4 very soon. Well, once we finish up this Overlord at the very least. So we've made 3 so far. And just going for that full saturation in the natural, really. And there we go. Alright. Got them all done. So actually, my opponent is currently running across the map as well. He will need to decide if he wants to, stay alive here or if he's gonna go ahead and defend against the shenanigans. He may very well be pushing, though. Okay, he's gonna go for the third base instead for me. That's totally fine. I'll try and kill his third base as well, while continuously making links here. I'm gonna start making some defensive Banes. We did get a Queen as an addition here as well, which I guess makes this fine. Not gonna have enough just yet to kill this, but keep in mind, +1 attack is incoming. And while that trade wasn't perfect, we're still looking pretty solid. Trying to get us around here. Now this is where this matchup gets so very volatile. A lot of the moves are very quick, and if you make one tiny little misstep, you can easily end up losing the game on accident. In particular in this tight choke on this map, makes it really difficult to play. I do have a lot of economy though. +1 attack is about to finish up. This also does benefit Banelings. And I'm gonna start pushing. Looks like he's retaking his own third as well. That's fine for me. I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself the second queen in the natural right now. Okay, so this is where the microbe will come into play very soon. Okay. Did manage to get a kill on that base, so that's good. +1 attack is done, so these fights are gonna go pretty well as long as I've got Link versus Link type of fights. Gonna morph in a whole bunch of Banes. Wait for my reinforcements to arrive and try and do as much damage here as I can. If I could get the Queen, that would be very nice. No reason to risk, no reason to risk. Okay, go for the base. Using one Link here for zoning. Oh no! Ooh, that was actually a misclick right there by me. That was actually a pretty massive misclick right there by me. Did not quite get the engagement off that I wanted to there. Did kill a couple of workers though, so it's not necessarily game over. Did scout these Links, trying to scoot by. Okay, there should still be a Bane in here. Yep. Embrace your Banelings! 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. Still gotta be careful though, because one Bane will still blow up all of my Links just fine. +1 attack is being really strong here though. Okay, gonna start tacking up towards the lair, get a second gas as well. He does have +1/+1 on his own Links too. Kind of important to keep in mind. I probably do have the economy advantage right now, but that's not necessarily where this game is going to be decided. Sometimes the game is just a numbers game, right? And the person with more Links will simply have more stuff. Okay, trying to snipe as many of these units here as I can. Got a lot of Links there as well. Once again, that numbers game coming into play. Okay, and I got all of those Banes as well. That's very good. Gonna start making Roaches now. I'm gonna start adding on an extra couple of Links here as well. Or a couple of Queens here as well. Move these guys over. And move all of my Queens to this battle too. Trying to add on Roaches. +1 attack is not done yet though. On the Roaches. Don't know how aggressive he's planning on being. Okay, targeting down with the Queens. Trying to get as much stuff here as I can. Lair is done. Okay. That's fine. Big round of workers. Big round of workers. Gotta be getting myself the +1 speed upgrade as well, or rather the speed upgrade. Got a lot of Queens now as well. That's quite good, because they can do a lot of defending. Okay. We'll see if I can get some damage in. I don't know how many units he's making, though. I don't want to go too aggressive here, either. You know what? I'll just back up. I'll just back up. I've done enough. I've done enough. I've got the economy that I was going for. I forced him to start switching into other units. Looks like he's got himself an evolution chamber to try and block off that pathway. That's fine for me. Gotta go for +2 missile, but I'm a little worried for Muta play, because I haven't seen any kind of tech lab out of him just yet. Or any kind of, you know, tech out of him just yet, rather. I got a lot of Queens, though, so I think it's fine. Does he have the gases taken here? No. Okay, so it's not going to be Muta play. That's very good for us. He's probably just focusing on a lot of Links. He may still be going Muta, though. Not really seeing a whole lot out of him, to be honest with you. Okay. Gonna go ahead and start taking the gases here at my other base as well. And we've got to be careful for run bys, but considering he just blocked off the path on his own side of the map, we don't have to be all too scared either. I'm thinking about pushing very soon, though. I don't want to let this go for all too long either. I got a very solid economy right now. I will be able to start taking a fort base here very shortly as well. And I have to be careful. Almost lost all my stuff there. Or at least my queens. He just blocked off the pathway, so he can't go home that direction. Very good. Okay. And I think now that I've got like a really big eco, I can start moving across the map. Considering he may very well be getting +2/+2 for his links right now, I was trying to see if that research was going down in the Evo chambers, but I didn't quite, I didn't quite spot it. I don't think he was, though. But I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing here. Go for the snipes on any overlords that we see, obviously with the corrosive bile. And he is actually adding on a lot of stuff. Oh no. Oh no. That was a really sick engagement by him. And a little sloppy by myself. Does he have the 4th base? Oh, he may very well have the 4th base. That would be a little ridiculous, but I think it may very well be the case right now. That was a huge hit. Let me get some more Banes. I should not have split up my army like that. Remember when I was morphing in those Roaches? Those Roaches were good and all. Or rather, when I was morphing on all the Banes. Those Banes did a lot of work. But I had them split up from my main force. Which is what cost me a lot. Let me go ahead and grab myself a couple more Banes here. I just blew up a couple of my own Banes. I just blew up a couple of my own Banes. Not too many though, but still more than I should have. Yeah, splitting up my forces here is a risk. I should not be doing that. Oh, okay. I blew up a handful of my own Banes on accident there because I actually was trying to morph in new ones. Okay. Gotta have a separate hotkey right now for my units. +2 attack is done, so I will be able to one-shot these, or two-shot these links. We got a lot of stuff here. Gonna morph my low HP Ravagers into new ones. Or my low HP Roaches into Ravagers, rather. Trying to prioritize those at the very least. And even though my opponent is sort of stuck on a unit composition that is not very powerful, with solid connections, he can still win this one. That's what makes this so very scary. Alright. That's good. That's really good. And my opponent is at the very end forced to GG out of the game. Now, to clarify why I blew up my own Banes, okay? I do this sometimes on accident. My morph key for Baneling morphs is Z. My hotkey for manual detonation is also Z. Now, once upon a time, I tried changing it out. I did it for like 2 or 3 games. And I just couldn't deal with it. I just got so frustrated because sometimes I tried manually detonating my Banes and it didn't work out. I was pressing Z when I knew that I had changed the hotkey and I had to think about it and it just didn't work. So right now, my hotkey for exploring my own base is the exact same. So usually what I do is control-click my links, hold down the Z button then, and then, you know, morph in a whole bunch of the Banelings. But in this particular instance, it's turned out to be alright. But I probably still do want to go ahead and change that at the very least at some point. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this high-level Zerg vs. Zerg. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button down below. And if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe as well so you get a notification as soon as I upload the next ones, which will be coming very shortly with new strategies and new builds and everything. So definitely go ahead and stay tuned for that. Also, while you're at it, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Links are in the description. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one.